Siddha, good morning, students. Today we are discussing the remaining embryology models. So once again, I will recap that how it is formed: the ectoderm, endoderm, and mesoderm. He knows that inner cell mass, outer cell mass, inner cell mass also called the embryoblast, outer cell mass called the trophoblast. This inner cell mass, the cells modified, and towards the this inside, that is the endoderm, the cells are modified like a latent cells, that is squamous cells, to form a endoderm, whereas towards the columnar cells that form a ectoderm. The trophoblast cells towards this ectoderm modified as the amniogenic cells that form a cavity, that amniotic cavity, whereas the endoderm cells, they are modified as and to form as the primary axon. The primary axon and amniotic cavity after formation, we can identify in the extra-embryonic mesoderm. That extra-embryonic mesoderm that form a extra-embryonic coelom, then it form a primary axon become a secondary axon. This extra-embryonic coelom divided into two parts like a somatotrophoblast and splanchnopluric and parieto-pluric. These two layers are there. Then after that embryo become a disc shape, but surface, which is the columnar cells that form a ectoderm layer. Here they are showing. Here we can identify the cuboidal, that is the endoderm cells. One of the end, these endoderm cells modified to form a procardial plate, that is columnar cells. Other end is the tail end. This is the head end. These ectoderm cells modified. These ectoderm cells are modified and proliferate to form a, that is the formation of the primitive streak. This cells enlarge and pushing the amniotic cavity. Here the this primitive streak which is forms from the ectoderm. This from the primitive streak, the specialized cells proliferate and pushing towards between the ectoderm and endoderm. That is the third layer, mesoderm formation is there. So at this stage, we can identify this ectoderm, endoderm, and mesoderm. These are all are developed from the inner cell mass only. So from the primitive streak, that this mesoderm layer, that cells are proliferate and pushing towards the cranial side except the procardial plate. This is the what we are forming, what the ectoderm, mesoderm, endoderm, three germ layers formation is known as the gastrulation. So next is the here also see how it is spreading this third layer, that is mesoderm, towards the procardial except this central axis here towards this cloacal membrane. Now this mesoderm, today's actual topic is mesoderm, how it is divides into three parts, like an either side of this notocard. So before going to discussion this somites, we'll discuss, you should know the notocard, but model is not there, but it is important short notes we'll expecting from the embryology. See, notocard, the first it is started from the primitive streak. We can identify the primitive knot. Oh, sorry. See here, primitive knot we are identifying. From the primitive knot, then pit formation is there. From the primitive knot, we can identify that canalization, that is spread the solid mass of the ectoderm cells and towards the procardial plate. Then after it is become a rod like that solid mass it is forms, that is called the notocard. The notocard is extending from the primitive knot to the up to the cranial part of the primitive knot, primitive streak, to the caudal part of the procardial plate. This is a notocard formation. Further, this notocard is the formation of this, that is the nucleus pulposus, that is the intervertebral disc. That nucleus pulposus, remnant of the notochord is nucleus pulposus. This may expect the viva question, what is the remnants of the notochord, that is the nucleus pulposus. So after formation this notochord, on either side we can identify the mesoderm division like a paraaxial mesoderm here, paraxial mesoderm. Next is the lateral side is the lateral plate mesoderm, and between this paraxial and the lateral plate of the mesoderm, we can identify the intermediate mesoderm is there. So, what are the derivatives? How it is formed the organs and develop this? So, first we'll discuss the paraxial mesoderm. See here, these are the segments paraxial. Here, neural tube also formation is there. Neural tube. This neural tube cranially it is enlarged for the formation of the brain. The brain two cerebral hemispheres, two cerebellar hemispheres, and also brain stem. Next, the caudal part is the tube-like structure that is formation of the spinal cord. On either side of this neural tube, we can identify the paraxial mesoderm. It is segmented. It is segmented. Like these are called the somites. Somites are developed from this paraxial mesoderm. From this, the somites are there is a 44 somites. These are develops the dermatomes. There is a dermatomes that develop the skin around this in the region of the thorax and abdomen region. And next is the dermatomes and sclerotomes. Sclerotomes means it form a vertebral column. That is a vertebrae. 33 vertebrae are developed from these somites. 33 that surround to this neural tube, lower caudal part of the neural tube, that formation of the spinal cord that is surrounded by this vertebral column. That is the sclerotomes. Myotomes is musculature which is developed from this somites. That which is present the where surround to this the vertebral column region. So somites are 44. That is the sclerotomes, vertebral column formation, dermatome, skin, and myotomes is the musculature, and also occipital myotomes. That occipital myotomes forms the occipital bone and muscles. That muscles are developed the tongue muscles. So that is the next pre-occipital myotomes also developed from these 44 somites. So somites are very very important. We expect in the short notes. So somites are developed from the paraaxial mesoderm on either side of this notochord. Next is the intermediate is there and paraxial mesoderm is there. Later we'll discuss in the systemic. Next is the head fold and tail fold of this embryo. See here, the first of all you should know this. This is the amniotic cavity. This is the secondary axon. So these layers, the pink color that's showing the ectoderm, this black color is the endoderm. So further what happens, the growing of this fetus, so amniotic cavity is enlarged. Amniotic cavity is enlarged and pushing this egg sac in the centrally. So here it become look like a dumbbell shape. This egg sac is there. See, this is the pink color that is the ectoderm layer. This black color is the endoderm layer. Further it is, see how it is amniotic cavity pushing this, it become look like a T shape. Here we can identify the prime ax of become a cavity formation is there, the horizontal cavity. So this is the head fold, this is a tail fold. Further what happens, it pushing this the tube like formation, this pushing this the axa and connection with this the definitive axa. So this tube like structure, this is surrounded by the endoderm, and also here also ectoderm also there. Not only we are identify the topmost, it is also extending anterior and intermediate in the middle in front of this. So now what happened, yaps of become it is pushing towards the center, then automatically this tube become a narrow tube like structure is there. See, this is a foregut formation, this is axa only, midgut formation, hindgut formation. So this tube like structure axa, further formation of this foregut structure like a oral cavity, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, up to the duodenum second part. whereas the midgut is there from the second part below, third part, fourth, jejunum, ileum, cecum, appendix, transverse colon. Hindgut develops the further is the descending part of this, the colon. Next is the cecum, uh, sorry, hindgut, rectum, and anal canal. Next, from here, this hindgut, the allantoid diverticulum is extending towards this extraembryonic mesoderm. So next is this is the vitelline intestinal duct. So next, this is the ectoderm, how it is covered to the whole embryo. This is the head fold and tail fold. See further what happened this amniotic cavity. See, this is a yolk sac. This is a allantoic diverticulum that is extending from the tube, that is from the hindgut. See, this is very beautiful diagram. See hindgut here, allantoic diverticulum. It is extending towards the mesoderm of the connective stalk. This connective stalk only further itself forms the umbilical cord. Umbilical cord is formed by one is the here the allantoic. This is a vitelline duct and mesoderm connection, and also ecto and endoderm of the layers. That is the umbilical cord formation. See here how this umbilical cord is formed. See further umbilical cord, here it itself forms by this. See the green color they are showing, that is the ectoderm layer. The pink color they are showing the yolk sac. This is a vitelline duct. This is extraembryonic mesoderm. So now collectively this vitelline duct, ectoderm, endoderm layer, and mesoderm that forms the umbilical cord. For the embryo grows, this length of the vitelline, that umbilical cord is extending from the placenta and towards the baby. So umbilical cord formation like this. So the normally the length of the umbilical cord is the 45 centimeters. This having the, it is a tortuous. It having the, well, initially two veins, two arteries are there. The finally after the right umbilical vein is disappears, only the left umbilical vein is there. Next is the two arteries are there. So when you take the section of this, we can identify the water jelly, two arteries, one vein, and remnant of the vitelline duct, and also allantoic diverticulum. So that is the structure of this umbilical cord section. This is very, very important. If you know this, easy to understanding the fold. See, embryonic disc showing the neural plate and relate to the structure. See, this is actually from cranial to caudal the structures. This is a septum transversum. Then after we can identify feature pericardial cavity, that is intraembryonic coelom. Next is the procaudal plate. Next is the neural plate. This is the cranial part enlarged and caudal part is there. These are the somites. This is a primitive streak. This is a cloacal membrane. So this further folding and extending of this embryo further itself forms the this septum transverse further itself forms the diaphragm. Feature pericardial cavity forms the pericardium as well as the heart development. Procaudal plate is continuation of the, this is a foregut formation of the stomatorium. Next neural plate itself forms the, this is the cranial part is the brain. This is spinal cord formation. The somites forms the, this is occipital bone as well as the muscles of the tongue. Next is the vertebral column, 33 vertebrae, and dermatomes, the skin which is around to this area, and also sclerotomes, that is the vertebral column, and myotomes. Next is the primitive streak. That primitive streak, you know how it is developed from the ectoderm, and from this gives the specialized cells for the formation of the third layer, that is a mesoderm. The cloacal membrane, it is the caudal part. After this rupturing, then it is formed the anal opening, and also we can add a urethral opening formation. That is a proctorium and stomatorium. Stomatorium, this is the proctorial opening is there, anus. See how it is when it is further developing, which I told this is the neural plate, this is the cranial part, this is the caudal part, the primitive streak. So if you see in now this diagram, they are showing the horizontally. So just imagine primitive streak is there, here the cloacal membrane, allantoic is there. Here this pink color that's showing the notochord, the blue color that's showing the neural plate. This neural plate further itself forms the brain. This is spinal cord. Notochord, that is the intervertebral disc, that is a nucleus pulposus formation. This is the foregut formation. This is connection with this stomatodium buccopharyngeal membrane itself forms. So when head is folds towards the downwards, bending downwards, then which is the topmost is there, that is a septum transversum, comes downwards in front of this foregut. Next is the another one is the next is the intraembryonic coelom. There we can identify the heart tube and pericardium. So like that, when is the head folds, the cranial most parts comes downwards and reach to the center of this in front of the foregut. Here itself from the yolk, then its continuation down line duct and umbilical cord formation is there. See this is the formation of the septum transversum diaphragm. Above we can identify the heart tube and pericardium. So vitelline duct midgut connection with this midgut. Allantoic diaverticum that goes cloacal membrane here. Allantoic, the cloaca. Allantoic diaverticum goes to this connective stalk, that extraembryonic mesoderm. So this primitive strip, we can identify the tail fold region. Next is the after formation this. See here how the head and tail folds. See here we can identify the cranial most parts, arches, and everything is there. So when it is bending, this part comes downwards. See, this part comes downwards, the formation of the face, and this next cranial most part, that is the procaudal. See here the pericardial swelling. Here we can identify the heart development. This is the face development, pharyngeal arches that develops the neck muscles, face muscles. Then to lateral side of this, we can identify the foregut, and here the allantoic diverticular connective stalk behind. Lateral side, we can identify the hydrocon development is there. This is the formation of the vertebral column, vertebras, that is from the somites. Next is the placenta formation. You know that how it is formed the placenta. See here, first we'll go to the starting class like a trophoblast inner cell mass. So this inner cell mass, see here the after fertilization, the zygote, then immediately it starts the cleavage. Two cells become a three, three become a four, four become a eight, and 16 cells stage. Morula up to the morula stage, the embryo that are having that is a zona pellucida is there that preventing the accessory implantation or the preventing the attachment of this trophoblast to the in the tube, fallopian tube. When it is disappears, when it is disappears after implantation of this zygote. So when you go to the body of the uterus, that uterus divided into two parts, cranial part and caudal part. Cranial part is the fundus of the uterus and upper half of the body of the uterus, and lower is the cervix and lower part of the body. So always this trophoblast traveling within the 4 or 5 days, going to reach to the upper cranial part of the uterus. Going to attach there, this is the uterine epithelium, this is stoma, deciduum. So deciduum means when it is implanted, going to attach to this the upper epithelium, upper cranial part of the uterus. When it attached, that is called that become changes, that is known as the deciduum. Where it is attached to this the inner cell mass the implantation, that is called the deciduum basalis. See here epithelium. Then after disappearing of the zona pellucida, then only it is erode inside of this inner cell mass going to attach to this stromal layer, that is the endometrium of the uterus. So further that here itself from the fibrin deposit cytotrophoblast and syncytotrophoblast formation is there. So what is that cytotrophoblast and syncytotrophoblast? So which is the trophoblast is where it is attached to the uterine endometrium. The this is a trophoblast itself modified as a two-layer proliferating cells, some specialized cells, and multiply and make the cranial most at superficial layer, that is there is no membrane but nucleus are there. It is nucleus are present in the single cytoplasm. But whereas the caudal region, there we can identify the cuboidal cells that is further formation of the cytotrophoblast. Where is the cranial side? Where is the that is the syncytotrophoblast and cytotrophoblast. Next, and also we can add extra embryonic mesoderm also there. So where it is going to attach to this uterine epithelium. So then it is syncytotrophoblast. This is a cytotrophoblast. This is a deciduum. This is deciduum where it is attached, that is called the deciduum basalis. See this syncytotrophoblast and cytotrophoblast further itself formation of the disc shaped attachment. Further itself forms the the finger villi-like structure, that is called the primary villi and primary chorionic villi. Chorion itself, why it is called the chorion? Trophoblast, and also we can parietal cells of the parietal parietal layer of the extraembryonic mesoderm itself forms chorion. From the chorion, the finger-like projections erode inside of this decidia that form the primary villi. So primary villi having the cytotrophlast, syncytioblast, primary villi. Whereas the secondary villi formation of this placenta, see here, we can identify the how it is attached to this is the decidual entering. These are the blood vessels, maternal blood vessels, going to this finger-like villi are there, going to reach to this is the primary villi. Then after we have the anchoring villi is there, then going to erode inside and hold in position and the formation of the placenta. Primary villi itself will having the that having the we can identify. See here, the decidual basal is this is chorionic villi. After that it disappears. Only the chorion frontosome is there. Villi is here it is disappears, that is called the chorion leeway. Next, the further step, what happened? The placenta formation, primary and secondary. In the primary and secondary, primary villi contain the we can identify the cytotrophlast, syncytioblast, whereas the secondary villi contain the cytotrophlast, syncytioblast, and intra embryonic mesoderm. So, whereas the tertiary villi having the fetal blood vessel. So, cytotrophlast, syncytioblast, next is the extra embryonic mesoderm, next is the fetal blood vessels. So that contain the four layers like a blood vessels, embryonic mesoderm, syncytioblast, cytotrophlast. That is the tertiary villi. So villi contain the fetal blood vessels and intervilli space contain the maternal blood vessels. Like that, the placenta is formed and going to attach and erode inside of this uterus. See how it is. The what is Korean, what is amnin, already we discussed the yesterday and theory class also. So these are layers and cover. Here the embryo is develops. This is amniotic cavity. This is an axis further itself from the foregut, midgut, and antgut. And this is the yaksha. Further it's from the umbilical cord. This is the connective stalk. This is the placenta. See how it is holding inside the uterus. This umbilical cord formation. This. So this is present inside of these layers. Like one is the see here we can identify the amnion, that is blue color amnion, one layer protection. Second pink color is the Korean is there. Next is we can decidia corpuscle is there. Decidio parietalis is there. So four layers covered. Inside we can identify the cavity. That cavity filled with the amniotic fluid. Normally the amniotic fluid is 1500 ml. That is a normal amniotic fluid contain this amniotic cavity. But whereas the more than this, that is called that is the abnormality. Whereas it is more less than this 1500 is the hypo that is the amniotic cavity contain this. See, this is the model of the placenta that is present in the Department of Anatomy. See, see, we are keeping the model in the Viva. First, you can identify this is the maternal surface and this is the fetal surface. This is the fetal surface. So fetal surface having the always umbilical cord. This is a ramification of the blood vessels, fetal blood vessels. So here the two arteries they are showing, and one way is the left umbilical vein, two right and left umbilical arteries. So these fetal membranes are there. Fetal membranes are placental membrane. There is a cytotrophlast, syncytioblast, embryonic mesoderm, and fetal blood vessels. This is called the fetal membranes or the placental membrane. So this cover make the covering onto the fetus. Then the cavity formation is there. Whereas the here the this is a smooth surface and ramification is there. So this is the umbilical cord. So whereas other side is there, this side, this is called the maternal surface. It is irregular and cotyledons are there. Cotyledon formation is there that contains see here maternal blood vessels. It is a cotyledon, each between the intercotyledon, we can add maternal blood vessels. This is formation of the placenta going to erode inside of this fetal, that is uterus. This is the maternal blood vessels from the uterus. That is the mother, that is uterine blood vessels. This is the placenta model. This is the maternal surface. This is the fetal surface. Fetal surface always contain the umbilical cord. You remember. Next is the, see, this is the formation of the primary villi, secondary villi, and tertiary villi. They are showing. This is the diagrams. See this here, syncytoblast, cytotrophlus, extraembryonic mesoderm. This is the secondary villi. If it is there, we can identify the fetal blood vessels inside. One is the syncytoblast, cytotrophlus, extraembryonic mesoderm, fetal blood vessels. That is the tertiary villi is there. Intervillar space contain the maternal blood vessels. See, this is a maternal, this is a cotyledon diagram is given in textbook. 16 to 20 cotyledons are there. This irregular rough area that is going to attach to this the mother uterus, that is the endometrium, and this is the maternal blood vessels. Other side is the fetal side, umbilical cord that attached by the fetus. See here is a placenta. This is the umbilical cord. This is a fetus. This is a fetus. So this placenta is going to attach to the endometrium, this umbilical cord. The umbilical cord, this is the fetus developed inside of this. This is covered with the layers fetal membranes. That is the cytotrophlus, syncytoblast, extraembryonic mesoderm. Next is the, that is the fetal blood vessel. That is the four layers which are present inside of these fetal membranes. This is the diagram is given how it is one cotyledon. See, this cotyledon having the, there is intervilli, that is intervilli. This is the code anchoring villi are there. So where it is the intervilli space contain the intervilli space contain the maternal blood, villi contain the fetal blood vessels. So see here, sometimes the two umbilical cord is also is anomaly. Sometimes the two umbilical cord is there means that having the twins. This is a placenta membrane. Sometimes we are expecting the shorten. So placenta topic is a very important. Sometimes they expecting uh, the 2 mark questions or 5 mark question. Like placenta membrane, if you're asking, you can write endothelium of the fetal blood vessels and basal membrane and surrounding the mesoderm, cytotrophlast, syncytoblast. This is the fetal membranes and covered and protect to the fetus. That is contain the, that is amniotic fluid is there. Hydramnion. Next is the anomalies of this. Anomalies of this. So normally I told that is the upper segment of the uterus is going to attach to that, but sometimes it is the upper and lower uterine segments and their normal relation to the placenta. This is normal. But whereas here the placenta previa is anomaly. That placenta is going to attach to this between this upper segment, lower part, sorry, lower segment, cranial part, upper part. So this central it is going to attach. It is also very difficult. First degree of the placenta previa. Then second degree, lower to the lower segment what is going to attach. Then after going to this placenta covered to the internal loss. Then fourth degree, what happens? It is fully covered to the internal loss. It is very difficult to hold in this position. So immediately within 2 months or 3 months, that the uterus, that is the abortion takes place, the fetus is not growing. So this come outside only. That is called the placenta previa. Next is the abnormal pregnancy. Sometimes a tubal pregnancy. So there is a tubal pregnancy, uterine pregnancy. Sometimes here it will take the implantation. Sometimes the first there is an one and lower part it will take. Sometimes eccentrically, actually outside the implantation takes place. So the abnormal sites of the implantation. This diagram showing. Sometimes they may ask the question, what are the functions of the placenta? How it is forms? Next to anomalies. What are the anomalies of this? See here, placental anomalies. One is the bilobulated. This lobulated. C is a differentiated, diffused placenta succeeded, discoid. And this is the circumulated placenta. Sometimes umbilical cord 1, 2, 3, 4. So like this abnormal position. So we are expecting from here the placenta formation and its functions, anomalies. Sometimes the placental membrane, discuss the placental membranes. And next is we are expecting umbilical cord. So these are the placenta is very important of every time we are asking this question placenta. So remember, should read the compulsory question plus it. So lower limb developments, upper limb developments, limbs development. See here, forelimb bud is develops, hind limb bud is develops on either side of this trunk, and we can identify the forelimb bud and hind limb buds. So how it is formed? Just see this forelimb bud and hind limb buds. That is a model. This is a model of this four. Not only seeing this for the particularly forelimb unit, this pharyngeal arches development, face development, everything is there. But we are showing here the forelimb buds and hind limb buds. See here this diagram also. First we appear the see the stomatorium, this connection with the hind gut. This is a pericardial bulging, heart and lungs here development. So then and side way of the pericardium we can identify four limb buds are developed. Fourth week of the intrahiatal lab we can identify. Fourth week, that is the 24th day of the intrahiatal lab, four limb buds are developed. And next to fourth week, the 28 days, that time we can identify the hind limb buds are developed. See, the bones of the limbs are developed from the mesenchyme of the limb buds. Mesenchyme means mesoderms. Mesoderm. Four limb buds appear fourth week at the time. Hind limb buds also fourth week, but the day is first 2 days before 26th day of the intrahiatal life, we can identify four limb buds develops. And 20th day, that time we can identify the hind limb buds are develops. So these limb buds are first it is look like paddle shape, it outgrowth arising from the trunk wall of the embryo in the second month of the intrauterine life. Each bud is a mass of mesenchyme. It is mesenchyme is there means that bones, cartilages are developed from this mesenchyme, but outside of the skin that is developed from the ectoderm. So four limb buds further the paddle shape of this shape of the growth grows. It becomes subdivided by the constrictions like constriction like an arm is there, forearm is there, hand is there that you knows. So this develops further. After this, four limb buds, the paddle shape, then the constricted part is the arm is there. Next is the forearm. Next hand is developed. See, paddle shape, forearm is there, hand, arm is there. Further, areas between this digitalization is there, but between this interdigitalization, the cells are dead and separated. And further, it will form the separate digits like index finger, thumb, middle finger, ring finger, and little finger formation is there. That hand is itself. See, the hand itself soon shows outline the digits, the digits formation. Interdigital area shows cell depth. So interdigital area which is there, the ectoderm, whatever it is there, that is a mesoderm also. That is cells are disappears similar to disappear to formation of the digits like a thumb, index finger, ring finger, and middle finger and little finger. So like the same similar way development of the lower limb also interdigital area disappears. Then the digit toe is develops first, second phalanges. That is the formation of the lower limb also. So here the embryologically we are using the words pre-axial and post-axial borders. So how we are using this anatomical position, lateral border and middle border. Lateral border having the upper extremity, the radius is there outside. Lateral side is the radius and middle side is the ulna is there, thumb towards it. But here also pre-axial, the cranial, the pre-axial means cranial. So here it is different. Pre-axial border that contain here it shows the that is the thumb and greater toe. Thumb is the thumb side is the pre-axial border, and whereas the lower limb, great toe, that is shows the pre-axial borders of the lower limb. So pre-axial border and post-axial. And pre-axial border in the lower limb that there we can identify the tibia. So pre-axial border and post-axial. Pre-axial border here the middle border of the lower limb, and pre-axial border of, is present here. The upper limb is the lateral border. So they remember this. Sometimes the we can ask how it is developed. This cephalic vein, pre-axial or the post-axial. They make sense. So anomalies. What are the anomalies of this legs? See, phacomelia. Sometimes the partially or the completely absent. Sometimes when they are giving the injections, so lower limb, that is a gluteal region injection they are giving. So may harmful drugs enter into this neck of the fibula. So one side the leg and the lower limb is developed normally, other side it is look like a and the undeveloped this neck region. So size of this, the length of this, the lower limb is decreasing as a muscle mass also not developed, like it look like a polio. Next, polydactyly supernumerary disease, sometimes it is present like a, so you don't know fish that is Hrithik Roshan, we are finding that thumb having the extra thumb, that supernumerary disease we can identify, that is called the polydactyl. Like this, in the fourth week of intrauterine life, on either side of the trunk, this the mesoderm develops the paddle shape of the mesodermal growth. We can identify the cranial is the, that is a forelimb, and the hind limb is the caudal part region, that leg and as well as the these forelimbs and hind limbs are develops. These are the anomalies. So next is the mammary gland. This mammary gland is sometimes mixed question with the LQ. Like example, describe the gross features of the mammary gland, huh? And the following structure. Like example, they ask the gross features, microscopic structure means embryolo, that is the histology, and embryological development and applied anatomy. Like this, the may expect this mammary gland is a mixed LQ question. So this first internal also expecting this in the mammary gland and this development, gross features, microscopy is not complete, I think. So end of this end annual examination that may expect like microscopic structure of the mammary gland. So here, how it is developed? See, mammary glands are present on either side of the midline, ventral surface of the tongue. So this trunk in the ventral surface, that also line is extended from the axillary region, mid-axillary region to the mid-inguinal region. That is the axis. Just see this. That line is extending from the mid-axillary region to up to the mid-inguinal region. In human embryo, this any animals we can identify the whole like this axillary mid-axillary line region to up to the line is extended which is up to mid. We can identify it in the animals like many nipples. But here in the human beings, we can identify the ectoderm becomes, and that is what happens here. This line is disappears the whole, only the pectoral region it disappears. See, human embryo ectoderms became thickened along the formation of the mammary gland ridges or the lines. So most of this line is disappears. Okay, this disappears in human being. That is a embryo, human embryos. But only we can identify in the pectoral region only, right and left mammary glands we are identified. In the females, okay, males also having sometimes that is called the gynecomastia. So how it is done? Just see this. This is the actual line of this, but human embryo is all disappear from up to here, from here also. But anomalies are there. Sometimes we are identifying the neck region and abdomen region and the inguinal region, thigh region also we are expecting. So normally we are identified only the pectoral region only. So this ectodermal layer, the cells are proliferate and modified. This epidermis layer cells are make a ridge and thicken towards the dermis. Then after a week it will become a lobulated like a 10 to 12 lobulated structure. Then it will become a like a separate like a finger like extends towards this dermis. Then after it is become a canalization. From the canalization, we can identify the glandular tissue. Glandular tissue. Then it is from the glandular tissue, the milk is produced, alveoli for further formation. The milk is produced passing through the lactiferous ducts. Here we can identify lactiferous ducts, and here we can identify the lactiferous sinus. And this, which is their ectoderm layer, that is a epidermis, thickened and outgrowth come outside, and thickened outgrowth come outside and open by the pores that it is formation of the nipple. These lactiferous ducts are open inside of this. So that's why the adult nipple having the like a, we can identify 10 to 12 the nipple pores also we are identify the milk is when the baby is sucking here the sinus. So what happened? The milk is coming. So like that, and this is the nipple formation, glandular tissue and lactiferous ducts and mammary gland developed in this region, ectoderm region, in the ectoderm region only. That is from the epidermis. In the dermis, we can identifying all this. Next is the, after this is the mammary gland. So before going to saying the thank you, some important questions from this embryology, short notes, very short notes from the beginning. Oogenesis. Next is the spermatogenesis, fertilization. Next is the gastrulation, primitive stick. Then I forget that is the Zona pellucida. Zona pellucida, primitive stick, gastrulation, notocard, notocard. Further, next is the placenta, placenta, and further last is the mammary gland. It is may expecting the mixed question. So remember all these question. Just you read and you follow that the models. Just keep the IBC textbook in front of this. You see the first model, then see the diagram, then you start the reading. So first of all, you should identify the model, then easy to saying the theory. Sometimes there is a placenta is there. They may ask the question like which is the maternal side, which is the fetal side. What are the fetal membranes? What is the primary villi? What is the secondary villi? What is the tertiary villi? What is the length of the umbilical cord? What are the contents of the umbilical cord? Which type of jelly is present inside of this? So next is the like spermatogen, ovum is there. So you are first you identify the ovum model, then we are asking the question. Sometimes we can't ask the question, you can explain that. So first of all, you should identify the model. Then what the teacher asking the question, you can respond for that questions. Like sometimes they is asking the capacitation, what is the acrosomal reaction, what is the length of the sperm, if it is worm is there, when you find in the first polar body, where you finding, what is zona pellucida, how it is formed, so what are the functions, which hormone released by theca interna, which hormone is released by the that is the luteal cells, what is the size of the worm, where it is the fertilization takes place, normal site of the fertilization where it is there. Next is the what is placenta previa, what is the cleavage, when you are finding the which number of the cells is called the morula, and also how the ectoderm develops, how the endoderm develops, how the mesoderm develops, what is gastrulation, what is primitive streak. Next is the what are the derivatives of the paraxial mesoderm, what is somites, in somite how many somites, what is the dermatomes, what is the myotomes, what is the sclerotomes. Okay, and next is the head fold and tail fold, how it is head fold and tail fold and lateral folds. You can see that, but exact model is not there. Next is the placenta. What are the functions? How it is forms? What are the anomalies? What are the placental membranes? Next is the mammary gland. How it is develops? How the which border is called the preaxial border in the upper limb? What are the preaxial border of the lower limb? Which bones are present preaxial border? They may expect like this the questions. Just to go through these models and read and write the first theory. Then Viva will asking all these models what we have discussed the till like up to the mammary gland. We are keeping all these in the examinations. Go through the textbook, IBC textbook, read. Okay, thank you.